In this tutorial, we'll take a look at transforming type. Type is a little different than other layers. It will only give you a couple of the transform options. So to show you, I've got a type layer set up. It's still editable type. And if I hit Command T to transform and then right click over it, some of my options are not available. I still have scale, rotate, skew, but distort, perspective, and content aware and puppet warp are all grayed out. Warp is not grayed out. I'm not really sure why they did this because it doesn't actually work. So ignore the fact that it looks like warp's available because really it's not. Hit Command Enter or just enter to finalize or transform, and we will take a look at how to change type. So usually I want to keep my type editable, meaning I can go back and change spelling or color or font at any time. But I still need to be able to warp this transform or skew it. The way we go about doing that is by using the Smart Object function, which is a really cool thing. I love smart objects. So if you right click over the thumb or over the layer of the text, you have an option that says Convert to Smart Object. Choose that. And you'll notice the thumbnail of your layer is changed. Now there's a little icon on it. This indicates that it's a smart object. Once it's a smart object, I can't change the qualities of it here, such as color or font. If I try to double click on it to edit font, it just creates a new font layer. So we want to say, for example, we're going to transform this now so you can see what I mean that a smart object lets you change the type. So Command T, and then right click, choose warp. And there's that fun warp thing again, and we can change these controls and move stuff around. Once again, watch out while you're transforming, because if you go too far you'll start getting really blurry edges. And then hit enter to finalize. So if I wanted to change something about this, let's say I wanted to change the actual word that's written, I double click on the thumbnail and it will open it's called a PSB file. And this is kind of a nested file inside of your original Photoshop document. And this is where you can change the color, you can change the word, and once you've made those changes, you have to save, so Command S, but it won't ask you where it wants to save because it's actually saving inside that other document. So save and then close the window, Command W. And there it is. It's still got all the same transform applied to it, but we changed everything about it otherwise. The other really cool thing about the Smart Object transform is if I've already transformed it and finalized my transformation and then wanted to change it a little bit again, when I hit Command T and go back to my warp option, so right click, oh, I just went off of it again, Command T, right click, warp, it remembers my original warp settings, so I can come back in and just keep tweaking right from where I left off, and then hit enter to finalize. Something to know about this function, however, is you get best results if you start with large type and make that into a smart object. So walking through it again real quickly, create a type layer, make it a good bit larger than you want your final to be, not hugely larger, but significantly larger. Right click on the layer and choose Convert to Smart Object, and then you can transform, Command T, and do all the fun transforms that you want to it. And when you hit enter, you can edit that smart object by double clicking on the icon of the layer. You can change the color or the font or whatever you feel like doing, and then hit Command S and then close the window, Command W, and those changes will be there. If you want to transform again, Command T, it will remember your original transform and you can continue working from where you left off. And that's transforming type with smart objects.